When it comes to fat loss, most people automatically think about doing more cardio. Your steady state cardio is the key to getting leaner faster, right? Not necessarily. I think the keys to getting faster include being in a caloric deficit, first and foremost. This simply means that you are burning more calories than you're taking in. Number two, we want to consider increasing our activity throughout the day. This includes easy walks, cleaning the house, fidgeting, just moving around. This can contribute to between 600 to 1,000 calories burned per day. And typically, when we reduce our caloric intake, our overall activity level tends to decrease as well. So you want to consciously make sure that you're moving more. Now, when we talk about workouts, thinking about doing some finishers is a great way to boost your output, to increase your calorie burn, and to make progress faster. When I talk about finishers, this is simply 5 to 15 minutes after you're done lifting, preferably after an upper body day. And it's just that, it goes at the end of your workout. I'm going to provide a few templates below so you can start incorporating them this week. You're looking at anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute 30 of a circuit. And then you're going to take about a minute to 3 minutes rest in between. You're just looking at about 60 to 70% intensity, putting some work in. All right, here are my 5 favorite finishers that you can incorporate starting today. Number 1, thrusters. Now, in this video, I'm doing thrusters with dumbbells, but keep in mind, you can do landmine and barbell thrusters. If you're new to them, I would suggest just starting out with body weight. It is essentially starting out with the bar or the dumbbells at about collarbone height. You are going to squat down relatively quickly and explode upwards. Now, as you're exploding upwards, you're simultaneously pressing these dumbbells into the air and then lowering them as you go back into the squat. Like I said, you can do them with a variety of different implements. You can even use kettlebells, a sandbag. Thrusters are very versatile, so you can do them pretty much anywhere. Our second exercise is kettlebell or dumbbell swings. Now, when we're looking at finishers, we typically are going to look at inefficient exercises. And inefficiency is going to be key here. And all this means it's going to take your body extra effort to stabilize. You are trying to keep this dumbbell from flying away, both in the upswing and in the downswing. You're using your posterior chain. It's very explosive. And as an overview for kettlebell swings, you're going to stand with feet about 1.5 times shoulder width apart, and you are going to use your lower body to kind of thrust this kettlebell up. Your upper body is just there to guide. I do have a tutorial on how to do a kettlebell swing. I'm going to leave that in the link in the description below. Our next exercise, everyone's favorite, is the burpee. Now keep in mind the burpee can be scaled, so you can do it where you are simply going from standing position to stepping into plank to adding a push-up. You can omit the jump at the end if you would like, but I love to do this as an explosive exercise where I am crouching down quickly, kicking those feet out, jumping back up, and trying to get some height at the top. So you've got, like I said, a variety of different ways that you can do it. This is another inefficient exercise, meaning you have to control and stabilize your body every step of the way. And of course, you're fighting momentum as well. So with burpees, again, you can aim for your 30 to 60 seconds, or you can toss it in as part of your circuit. So you can do like 10, then you can go to kettlebell swings, and then you can go to our next exercise, which is the assault bike. The assault bike is an excellent choice because you have the ability to scale this one. You can go a little bit easier. The resistance is not going to be as hard, but with the assault bike, the harder you pedal, the harder you push, the more resistance you're going to get. This is probably the closest machine to your all-out sprint, so it's also really great for HIIT if you want to do that. Let's say you're working through an injury, you can actually place your feet up on the feet holders and just do upper body. You can also just do lower body, not use the arms. So you have a number of different ways that you can use this. Our last exercise is the sled push. Now, if you don't have access to a sled, that's okay. If you've got carpet, you can do a plate push. If you're training at home, you can actually do a wall push where you're getting into that drive position in the sprint, which is your body at about a 45-degree angle. You're going to lock out your arms against the wall, and you're simply going to pretend that you're pushing a sled for the allotted amount of time. So you can either use an actual sled, a plate push, you can go up and back, or you can stay stationary. You can do high knees with it. This is a very versatile piece of equipment as well. And with the sled, one of the reasons why I love it is that you are simply pushing. There's not a lot of eccentric or negative force in the sled, which means you're not going to get sore from it. You're going to get gassed from it, but you're not necessarily going to get sore. Now, like I said, I've got a template in the description below, so be sure to check that out. You can screenshot it. All of these workouts are highly customizable. So you can do something like kettlebell swings, take a break, do more kettlebell swings, or you can mix and match these exercises. You can do thrusters. You can even throw in some lunges. You can throw in some battle ropes, some push-ups, other body weight exercises to create the perfect circuit for what you're trying to accomplish, which is just extra movement, burning extra calories, and getting leaner faster. Let me know what you think. Do you do finishers? Would you like to see another video on them? I did one a few weeks ago using just a kettlebell. I'll also link that in the description below so you can check that out. There are so many different ways that we can get fit. We can make it fun. There's nothing wrong with doing steady state cardio, but just keep in mind that when you're doing cardio, think about it like you're training for a marathon. If you're doing 20 minutes this week, you might see good results. Next week, you might have to do 25 minutes and then 30 minutes and 35 minutes. So it's a bit of a slippery slope, and we can get fitter much faster. And this just means that you're going to need a lot of training volume in that steady state cardio just to see the same results over time. So it can be a good tool to use for a few weeks, but when we're looking at something sustainable, where you're only in the gym for 30 minutes to an hour a few times per week or every day, whatever you choose to do, that steady state cardio can essentially add hours to your workouts. And not all of us want to spend all day in the gym. All right, let me know what you think. That's it for this time. Until next time, thanks for watching. Train smart and train hard, y'all.